For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Michael Anthony Cuff, Senior, and I am absolutely delighted to be one of the Master of Ceremonies here this evening. Along with me is someone you probably all know very well. You've heard her on radio, on television. When it comes to relationships, if ever you want to talk about relationships, this is a woman. And she's going to be my co-host this evening. I'm talking about Dr. Karen Carpenter.
So wonderful to be here, happy to be with you, wonderful to share in this evening. I was really excited to come because I love the theme. And I think LaToya knows that. I love, love, love your theme. Love in intimate relationships. And we're not talking enough about intimate relationships for all sexuals. And so I'm very happy to, I feel celebratory. Yeah? I feel like I'm celebrating today. So we're very happy to be here and celebrate with you.
Please welcome our opening act, Mika Lasaf.
The melody of my soul, the promise that this desperate heart holds. You are A-N-D-R-E. My mind is pregnant with the thoughts of wrapping my body tight around you like your headphones, which clearly never leave your neck, or those rings which clearly never leave your nipples. I want to find refuge in your arms, and I want to drink the sunlight from your skin. A-N-D-R-E. My heart pounds like time, slowly moving, clicking, beating with each time I look at you. I'm so perfectly placed that would make an atheist just for a second believe enough just to say, God damn it. But I wake each day rolling over with expectancy, and you're not there. My eyes bear the luggage of my heart shattered into pieces, and my thighs wet with a midsummer's night dream of you. Will you ever be mine? Will I ever gloat to my friends about my biggest victory? Will my breasts and my back ever be introduced to those plump, juicy, succulent lips? Or will I ever be able to call you my A-N-D-R-E?
And we're going to ask Dane Lewis to come and bring us a welcome. Yes, Executive Director of JFLAG, Mr. Dane Lewis.
He's going on.
And friend and colleague.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, and those yet to decide, good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Governors, management, and staff of JFLAG, I welcome you to what will be remembered as another milestone in the history of the LGBT movement in Jamaica, the 4th annual Larry Chang Human Rights Symposium under the theme Celebrating a Community of Love. The Larry Chang Human Rights Symposium is held annually to honor the work of Larry Chang, a Chinese-Jamaican gay man who was a community organizer and one of the founding members of the LGBT human rights movement in Jamaica. He is also a co-founder of JFLAG and headed up the Gay Freedom Movement, the first gay rights organization in Jamaica. Larry was also the publisher and editor of GFM's newsletter, The Gaily News. This year, as is continually the intention behind the hosting of these types of fora, we seek to interrupt the singular narrative often perpetrated by people's insatiable appetite for what is sensational. With today's forum under the theme, Celebrating a Community of Love, we give space for people to talk about their journey and to celebrate with them their experiences of love. Today we'll hear how it's possible to experience love, the challenges and the joys. Well, if that opening piece is a snapshot of the program, I hope you're armed with your tissues or a handkerchief, because it's going to be quite a ride. I don't know about you, but I, like LaToya, love, and Karen, we really just love. And today, we're going to spend a lot of time celebrating love. So I bid you welcome. Do enjoy.
We are here to celebrate love. And, you know, it's a funny thing. We're always looking for love. We spend most of our days and nights looking for love. Sometimes love can be like a butterfly, very elusive. If you chase it, it's just outside of your grasp. If you sit quietly, it will alight upon you. In order for love to alight upon you, you have to create the atmosphere for that to happen. Does that make sense? Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You're going to turn to the person to your right and to your left and say, "You are fantastic. Good to see you." You see how nice that feels? And because you're so proud of who you are, the person is going to turn and say to you, "I know." Yeah? And so going forward this evening, we're going to be celebrating you. It's all about love. It's all about intimacy, because it all begins with each and every one of you, okay? You want this world to be filled with love? It's got to start with you. Our next speaker is a Dean of the Faculty of Education and Liberal Arts at UTech. He's here to bring greetings. Please welcome Dr. Rohan Lewis.
Another year has passed, and JFLAG pauses to celebrate LGBT rights as human rights. The man in whose honor this event, which has now become annual, is named, Larry Chang, was a pioneer in his time. It may seem to us to have been a different time, one marked by isolation, separation, ridicule, and shame. But much of what we have seen recently reminds us of that time. Despite the challenges that Larry encountered back then, he and a small group of friends founded in 1974 the Gay Freedom Movement. The work done by the GFM is a legacy that JFLAG has received. It is looking back today in this event into the rearview mirror so that you can move forward. The standing on the shoulders of the ancestors that any rights organization which wishes to benefit from history must do. The USAID funded Fluid Jamaica project at the University of Technology Jamaica salutes this effort not only for celebrating the man and his vision, but also for the small steps of progress towards building a new and different Jamaica. We join you in recognizing the evolution in the discourse on LGBT rights in Jamaica, where events like this have become commonplace. We view this as an important part in the building of Jamaica's democracy. We are pleased and proud to join you because while some continue to envision a Jamaica as a place of intolerance and structural violence, we see you as architects of a new society in which all Jamaicans, regardless of background and status, are able to call on the national protection from violence and discrimination. We congratulate JFLAG for this annual staging of the symposium and are grateful for the opportunity to partner with you in dreaming of the building of a new Jamaica. Like you, we believe that that Jamaica is one in which the dignity and the rights of all are to be respected. I thank you.
I want to introduce our next speaker, who is Denise Herbal from the Jamaica USAID mission, and she's going to bring some remarks for us for the gathering. Denise?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you, Rohan, so I can say all protocol observed. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad I got the color memo today before I showed up. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the United States Embassy and USAID. At the Embassy in Kingston, promoting full and equal citizenship for all Jamaicans is our core objective. This means that we seek to improve the lives of all Jamaicans, empowering them to secure better lives for themselves, their families, and their communities. Beyond the poor, this includes women and members of the disabled community, LGBTI, and rural communities. We do this in partnership with local and global actors. These efforts ensure that LGBTI persons have equal access to and reap the benefits of our development work and are instrumental in the transformation of their own societies. Over the years, the government and people of Jamaica have engaged in an extensive dialogue expanding the understanding of Jamaican citizenship for all. These discussions have opened space for a grounded understanding of where Jamaica is and where it's headed around expanding full and equal citizenship to all Jamaicans, especially members of the LGBTI and other vulnerable communities who have been excluded. Like any democratic society, Jamaica is walking a path to determine its own future. And as an American, I can tell you that we are still struggling today with delivering our democratic processes to all our citizens. I leave here at the end of June this year for my next assignment in Pakistan, but I want to assure you all that our work does not stop with my departure. Not our work here, and not the work that I'm going to carry forward there. As we gather this evening to celebrate Larry Chang Human Rights Symposium Day, let us affirm that the efforts to date do not stop here. We must continue to strive for tolerance and respect for all Jamaicans. Let me finish with a bit of history that I believe perfectly captures what we're seeking. In 2013, before being drafted into the Women's National Basketball Association in the States, basketball player Brittany Greener came out in public. She said, "I am a strong, Black, lesbian woman, and every single time I say it, I feel so much better. The day that all men and women can openly express who they are without fear or hate is the day we will all feel much better." Thank you.
The Senior Human Rights Advisor to the UN is a remarkable individual, someone who is doing major work, and it's no surprise that she is here to bring some remarks. And I'd like you to help me to welcome our next speaker, Brigitte Gerstenberg.
From the onset, the United Nations declared that every human being has the same human rights everywhere, and expressed it in its charter and later on in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and everyone knows that. However, although these declarations and the charter are over 70 years old, I think we have a lot to do still with discrimination, and discrimination of out of many grounds. Nevertheless, it has been a long walk to get to where we are now, and the discrimination of persons perceived as different is, although not in the past, we have done steps forward. Today, under international human rights law, the exercise of all human rights for everyone, regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity, is perceived by the UN as an immediate and cross-cutting obligation. To date, this remains one of the sensitive and complex issues in the UN and can't easily be discussed in their fora. I tell you that. Progress is achieved with many governments, at least adopting positions, including in the Universal Periodic Review Decisions, UPR, to protect LGBT persons against violence, to provide inclusive basic services, and to express themselves as opposed to discrimination against them. Today, many nations, they have very modern constitutions that guarantee essential rights and liberties, and yet homosexuality is considered a crime in more than 70 countries. This is not right. Yes, we recognize that social attitudes run deep. Yes, social change often comes only with time, but let there not be confusion. Where there is a tension between cultural attitudes and universal human rights, rights must carry the day. personal disapproval, even society's disapproval, is no excuse to arrest, detain, imprison, harass, or torture anyone, anywhere. Nelson Mandela, a visionary and unique leader, as we know, expressed this in the following way, and I think that comes to where we are now and what we wanted to today celebrate love. If people can learn to hate, they can also be taught to love. For love comes more easily to them. It comes more easily to the human heart than its opposite. So love runs the day and not hate. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.
I was sitting there thinking about all the kind words that were being brought, and I thought, you know, we need to find a new way of talking about, describing this acronym, JFLAG. So I've got a new one for Dane. It's Jamaicans feeling the love and growing. JFLAG. And to bring us more love is one of my favorite people, Sankofa Arts and Facilitation. And Sankofa Arts and Facilitation bears witness to the creative genius of its founder, Fabian Thomas. Let us welcome from Sankofa Arts, Jamie Lee Nelson, writer, poet, student, and actor, who will be performing for us today, and Fabian.
The beauty in the beast. It disgusts me the way I love you. It makes me sick to look into your eyes and see the best mistake I've ever wanted to make. It makes my stomach do flips that would rival any gymnast to feel this way about you. I mean, look at you. You're a monster. You're the type of creature that warrants the angry cries of pitchfork and torch-wielding townspeople. Your internal hideousness makes the eyes of my heart water. Loving you, it's like not knowing how to swim, but diving headfirst into the deep end of what seems like an endless expanse of doubt. Loving you means ignoring everything else. It means loving the sarcasm. I can love it. It means caressing the uncertainty. I can love it. It means holding on to your jagged edges with my bare hands. I can love it. It means holding closest to my soul all the unattractiveness that you possess. I can love it.
Revolution love. Revolution love is one of the reasons my ears cling to your words. Justice, a shared language. So even when we are silent, I sense the quaking of your heart or hands, because shit ain't right. Trayvon, Oscar, Rakia, Sakia, color the blues of our rainbow. Sometimes in the morning, so let's find lullaby. Revolution love is the cop car behind, bracing for the stop, exhaling for the let go, because you needn't do anything to be burdened with proving innocence. Black hand steering wheel moving because I can look at you and know you understand how this unnecessary reminder stings, so hold me longer than they held us. My children, she said. And some heard my prophets and came pregnant, bursting with the truth ready on their lips. And they came as men holding men they loved nearby and fast in their minds. And when they came together, it was like attending your birth. It was like opening your eyes. It was the Holy Ghost's glory. Cradled on an altar of weary arms, I fell in love 19 times forever. Just above my head, I heard a voice cry out, behold. Thank you.
We're talking love here this afternoon, love in intimate relationships. And I don't care what kind of, what the nature of your relationship is. What I have found is that whether it's gay, straight, whatever, all relationships, when it comes to romance and sex, they have the same challenges. So we are going to be doing something very novel, we think, here on the Larry Chang Symposium. We're going to be introducing some couples, and they are going to be telling you about how they met and anything else they deem fit that you need to know. We have 4 couples. Our first couple is Geraine, and Jean-Pierre.
All right, so this isn't a love at first sight story. It's not a butterflies in your stomach story. It's not a whirlwind romance. This script was not written by Hollywood. So, but the truth of the matter is, and I don't think she realized this until I wrote this in the Google Doc, that she makes my heart skip a beat quite often.
Our story is, as Jean-Pierre says, not one of the Hollywood script. It's rather one of support and partnership and an amazing and fulfilling love that I've never experienced before.
So, as Geraine said earlier, she's pansexual. And whether by accident or design, I never assumed she fit the label of heterosexual. So when the conversation came up, that was actually the label that sprung to my mind.
Hearing him say I figured after telling him that I was pansexual remains one of the most comforting moments in my life. His reassuring smile made me feel safe and loved. Before us, I never appreciated what it meant to fully accept my sexuality while being in a relationship. There was always this pressure to be either gay or straight, depending on who I was dating, as if a part of me was erased once I started dating someone. Something I'm truly thankful for in a relationship is the understanding of how complex and beautiful love can be. No matter how you choose, how you love, or who you love, you should never feel limited.
Especially by your partner. Love is love.
And at the end of it, we all hope for a Jamaica where no matter who you are or how you love, you'll be able to do so freely and have the support you want.
To learn some of the lessons that we have, to learn lessons of your own, to grow, to trust, to feel safe that no matter where you go or who you interact with, you will be accepted.
Love is love. Whether you're heterosexual, trans, cis, queer, or you live without labels, love is love.
We're going to invite Monique and Patrice to come and share their story for us, and Monique will be sharing. Monique?
I'm a police officer, and I'm also a proud member of the Jamaican LGBT community. This is my lovely fiancé, Pat. We have been together for pretty close to 4 years. We got engaged a little over a year ago. We intend to get married and start a family sometime in the near future.
And I always pray to find somebody who is dark and handsome.
One afternoon, she said to me that she was going to meet her mom or something, pick up her mom or something. So I took her to where her mom was, and when her mom got into the car, she was like, Mom, meet your new daughter-in-law. So I was like, oh my God, what the hell is she saying to this lady? You know, but both our families are very receptive of our relationship, and you know, my family loves Pat, her family loves me, and you know, I feel very comfortable around them. Being in the police force, being a female, being an out member of the LGBT community is really, really, really hard. And sometimes I really feel like I don't belong there, but nonetheless, you know, I'm still there, doing what I do and playing my part, doing my duties. People have grown accustomed to the idea that, okay, there are gay people in the force. All of us aren't gonna hide or disappear or, you know. Basically, people must learn to appreciate that different people make up this world. Some people are gay, and we're here to stay. So out of many, we are one, and we are all Jamaicans, and we have a right to be here just like anyone else. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Nish.
So Tisha and I have been together for almost 7 years. Yes. Professionally, Tish is really good at fashion, but not very good at budgeting. So I help to keep the financial goals in mind for her business. I'm good at analyzing, but she's the visionary. I help to keep her motivated to reach the next level professionally as well. Personally, we listen to each other. We make time for each other. We discuss our dreams, our hopes, our plans. It's easy to love Tish. Managing the distance can be difficult. It's the hardest part, really. We've lived in different spaces throughout our relationship. 2 weeks ago was the last time we saw each other, and it was really hard to leave. Emotionally, it gets harder and harder each time. But we voice note each other, we call each other. It really flows for us. We don't really need to make time to see each other, to Skype each other, but it just happens naturally. So she was a bit shocked when I told her, hey babe, I'm not a lesbian, I'm a trans guy. She didn't quite know how to process it, but her support never wavered. It was tricky for her in the beginning, as she only knew me, as one gender. So she went through the feelings of confusion, sadness, and anxiety, and those are the things that we really had to confront in our relationship. She loves me and she supports me and recognizes that my gender identity does not change my personality. And it doesn't change her sex life either. So, there's that. Our love lights me up, it really does. Seeing my partner happy makes me happy. Homophobia and transphobia cannot break us down. We are more powerful than hate. Yeah, so we are love. And love is love. Love is love means love. It means love celebrated and cherished between two people, regardless of gender identity and sexual orientation. And it means I can love, you can love, we all are worthy of love. Thank you.
Marlon is next.
Yeah.
And he's coming right now. And
Tell
he's
his
going
story.
to give his story about Marlon and Ralston. Right. Come, Marlon.
I met Ralston in 2012. After meeting him, we dated a little, because I've been in many relationships before, many short-term relationships that didn't last. And so I basically told myself that I wasn't going to go into another relationship. He told himself that he wasn't going to go into another relationship. And so we dated to see what it would feel like. 2 weeks in dating, we decided to move in together. Sunday was our 3rd anniversary, Mr. McKnight. I introduced him to my entire family. My biological mother loves him dearly. My stepmother says I can't carry home any boyfriend to introduce to her. She don't want to see another. As a matter of fact, we had an argument, and Ralston was in another room, and I was in our room. And Mommy was sitting on the bed, and she said, "Why you Ralston out?" I'm going to say, "Him not talk to me." And she said, "Okay, go on, go fix it. Come on, go my bed." My biological sisters, they love him dearly. And so I am stuck with Ralston. I was somebody who was very unstable. Mr. McKnight knows, Mr. Lewis here knows. But the relationship with Ralston has kept me grounded for 3 years. The life that I am working towards are examples of lives that I've seen around me from persons like Mr. Lewis and Mr. McKnight. They have lived exemplary lives where us as LGBT persons can follow
can aspire to become. And that's my hope for the LGBT community in Jamaica. Thank you.
Intimacy in relationships continues now with, let's hear it for Taitu Heron.
Love, 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 love. You remind me of love, 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 love. You know, you remind me of love, 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 love. It's in the way you love, 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 and the way you hold your of. When you call my name, I just love, love. You know I can't complain about your love. One of the things about love is that it's many layered, it's complex, it's intricate, it's profound as much as it is simple. The biblical definition that we all know in 1 Corinthians is actually one of the best definitions I've seen, interestingly enough. Yet, it is the most arduous and challenging for us to keep heathens and Christians alike. I can't tell you that I completely understand it to its fullest extent. I suspect that many of us don't. But a few things are certain about love. It's eternal. It makes us happy. It sustains us. Love is injustice undone. It is the pause to water your plant. It is eating fruit instead of French fries. And if in the passage of love you get hurt, it's not actually love, it's something else. Ego, shame, but not the love itself. We are burying now the woman who made us bleed and bawl the deluge of rocks. Behind tear-drenched waterfalls, cataract clouding every look back on childhood, and what I'll remember most are her veins. Vulgar veins that stand up and dance on her neck. Every time she tells somebody, kiss out your wara wara Nazi clat on a stinking dirty careless mama. Child abuse is not funny. It is not a reason to laugh.
My name is Kate Dubb, and I have a few things to say here, following up to what Taitu said and the song. The thing with abuse is that the cycle tends to be perpetuated, and sometimes even when we're adults, we tend to fall into situations that are not necessarily the best for us, and so this song reflects that.
No, this is not a song for lick out against the man them, cause you don't look head up and love them. Them are the head of the house and me agree with that, but them have to love me like Christ love the church like that. And if it's not like that, then them have to backtrack, cause you don't know me not take no shot. If him don't love you, make him go on, baby girl. No matter stress yourself, no matter take him on, cause there is more to life than being with a man, baby. Take your time and move along, go educate yourself, financial freedom, depending on yourself and not on anyone. There is more to life than being with a man. Take your time and move along.
We walk with abuse, we walk with baggage, and love is all that and a bag of chips, but we have to unravel and heal as well. Give thanks.
Thank you, Taitu. Can I just tell you what a privilege it has been for me to be a part of the event. And just before I go, on behalf of myself and Karen, how much we really enjoyed being here and to be a part of this very, very special Larry Chang Symposium. Just before I go, I believe Nish has the final word. But as far as myself and Karen goes, this is it for us. So thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure.
All right, so I'd like to first thank our moderators, Dr. Karen Carpenter and Michael Anthony Cuff Sr. for facilitating this adventure of love. We showed today that love is love, and the power of our love is stronger than homophobia and transphobia. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you, everyone.
Is real.